We're talking about movies. The end of 2025 is upon us. We are here to talk about everything I saw this year, my favorite things, my least favorite things. I've got it all written down here on my nice trusty sheet of paper that I did not need AI to help me generate. Wrote it with an old-fashioned pen. Everything, I'm pretty sure everything. I wrote it down. I kept a list of it all year. There may be a few things like Alien Earth. I started. I just couldn't finish it. So stuff like that's not on here. But I'm pretty sure everything I saw is on this paper. So I'm going to tell you what was good and what sucked. And this is probably my favorite video to make. I love being able to like look back at the year, see what I saw, kind of see how it grows on me too. Sometimes you see something the first time and you're like, oh, that was really good. And then the more it sits with you, you're like, it was okay. That can go either way too. But the first movies I'm going to start with here are the superhero movies. And I'm going to be kind of quick with these because I do have individual videos for each of these first four on the channel. If you're interested more in my thoughts on those, go to the page, check them out. The best one I saw was easily Thunderbolts. I thought that the relationship between Florence Pugh and David Harbour, the father-daughter relationship, was really good. I love the Sentry and I love the Void. I think that that's a really like unique and cool idea that will play more into the future movies they do. Fantastic Four I thought was really good. I like the cast. I like what they did with Galactus. And I also think that that one is going to play a lot into. So I would recommend, even if you're not super into Marvel, I think you would enjoy those two movies. And if you're interested in going and seeing like Avengers Doomsday next year, those would probably be good to see before you go and see those. Third, I did not really like James Gunn's Superman movie. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was the worst thing ever, but like of all the James Gunn movies and properties I've seen, it's probably my least favorite. Really off-putting to me was the part in the middle where they captured Superman, took him into like this CGI dimensional pocket with some green guy that can like morph into things. It gets to a point where the green guy is just a floating head with like a squid body. Superman's flying around with this green baby over more CGI. And to me, that's not what I look for in a Superman movie. I thought Nicholas Hoult was really good as Lex Luthor. I thought David Cornsweet was really good as Superman. I thought the ending was good. I like the part where he's fighting the giant like monster thing and he's actually trying to like protect it and save it. And the Justice Gang is just trying to kill it. I think that's interesting, but I don't know. I didn't think it was very funny either. Like, I don't know. I just didn't really like it that much. It was okay. And then lastly, Captain America Brave New World was just not a well-made movie. Very poorly put together. I did like the ending with the Red Hulk. It just wasn't that good of a movie. That's a hard movie for me to recommend to you. I think like if you are really into Marvel and you're going to watch all however many 30 plus movies they're at, yeah, I mean, don't skip it. But that's not a movie I would recommend to people who don't like superhero movies. So like I said, individual reviews for all those if you want more opinions. I thought Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, very well made. Superman, and Cap 4, not very good. All right, while we're talking superheroes, I did watch two superhero shows. Daredevil Born Again, Peacemaker. Okay, so Daredevil, the original Netflix shows, is one of my favorite shows ever. It's one of my favorite comic book properties ever, the original Netflix show. This, it's hard to talk about it. Like, does it have some aspects of the show that I once loved? Yes. But it's different. You could tell Disney got their hands on this. They try to be a little edgy in some episodes. They try to let him break some legs and do whatever. But the rumor is they had made this show completely different than what it is. And then kind of near the end, they're like, this isn't the vibe we want. We want to change it back more towards the Netflix show. So near the end, it does get a little better. The last two episodes I thought were pretty good, and I like what they're heading into in season 2, where they're bringing like Jessica Jones back, probably the Defenders, I would imagine. I think that season 2 has the potential to be a little bit more like the Netflix show, but I don't think we're ever going to get the Netflix show from Disney. It's just not what's going to happen. They had episoded here where it was just like a one-off episode, which the original Daredevil did not have one-off episodes, where he was at the bank when the bank got robbed and Kamala Khan's dad is there and they have this whole tie-in with everything. That is not what the Daredevil show is or is about. It's about cameos and random people popping up. So I think the story with Kingpin taking over New York is great and him becoming the mayor. But the whole thing with the artist killer didn't really end up going anywhere. And obviously they are petitioning it now for Daredevil to come back to fight the Kingpin. I love the Punisher in this. I love that they brought him back. I love that he's going to be in Spider-Man. I just think that this was a little bit of a neutered version of the Daredevil show that I loved. So I'm hoping season 2, since they kind of made that change near the end, will be a little bit more like it, and I think it will be better. Peacemaker, James Gunn's other property that honestly I think is his favorite. I think he wants to like shove Peacemaker in the middle of this whole DC thing, which is kind of strange because that's not a super popular character. I was late to the party on the first season of Peacemaker, and when I ended up watching it, I really enjoyed it. The whole story with the butterflies, I think John Cena is really good in it. It's funny. This season, I'm give or take on it. I thought that it started off really slow, and then when they got into the whole plot with the world being the Nazi world and everything, I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is good. His father is actually good in that dimension. His brother, who's alive, is going to probably end up hating him and trying to kill him. But it just didn't stick the landing. Like it was pretty slow, and then it got interesting, and then I feel like it was still slow. Like they tried to combine too many things. I didn't think it was as funny as the first season. Also, the first season is like interesting with the butterflies and like they're aliens, they're from another planet, and it's just a unique idea. This idea of like, oh, he goes to an alternate dimension and he likes it better there. I feel like that's not the most original thing in the world. The last episode 2 promised a lot and didn't deliver really anything. It did have a good cliffhanger. I'm interested in where they go with that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure John Cena and Peacemaker are going to pop up in other places in the DC universe, but as a finale, it was not a good finale. So again, James Gunn didn't really sell it to me this year with his DC stuff. I don't think that they should axe it or anything, but I think they need to get Batman in here pretty quick. I don't really know. Some like they're doing Supergirl next year. I don't know if that's gonna make everybody like it all of a sudden. So yeah, Peacemaker season 2 was okay. It was fine. It wasn't as good as season 1, and I think that you could tell he really wants Peacemaker to be a big part of DC. So it was okay. And I am not a James Gunn hater. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I thought the Suicide Squad that he did was awesome with Starro at the end, the starfish. Just the last 2 things he made just haven't really done it for me. I saw 2 movies I'm going to list under the category of dad sequels. So the first is The Accountant 2, which... Okay, so when I saw the original Accountant, it was kind of like a diamond gem movie you find. You're like, wow, look at this. Nobody's really seen it, and it's really good. It's got Ben Affleck, and... The first one was a lot more clever of a movie than the second one. I really enjoy in the second one, you let John Bernthal and Ben Affleck just run around with guns the whole time. And it's a lot of action, which is why I call it a dad sequel, because it's just shoot 'em up the whole time. But the plot that made the first one a diamond in the rough and like a hidden gem is not in this one. It's basically like, hey, there's some bad guys in Mexico. Why don't you guys go get them? That's about it. If you're interested in it, I would recommend, hey, watch the first one. The first one's really good. And I remember when that came out, I was like, have you guys seen The Accountant? The Accountant is like awesome. It's like, no, I've never heard of it. So first Accountant, really good. Second one, I'm sure your dad will love it. And then Happy Gilmore 2. Look, I really enjoy the original Happy Gilmore. It's hilarious. Adam Sandler is a national treasure, walking around in his basketball outfit all the time. But so Happy Gilmore 2, I did enjoy. I did like it, but you got to know going into it, this is Adam Sandler cameo fest, really goofy comedy. This is it. Like Happy Gilmore, the original, is a comedy and it's funny, but it's a very grounded, serious comedy. They don't have like ridiculous stuff happening in it. This has a lot of ridiculous stuff happening in it. The like Live Golf Tour or whatever they call it in this one is just bonkers, where they have this golf tournament with all these like obstacles and props everywhere. Just stuff that wouldn't happen in real life. I know you could say, well, he wouldn't fight Bob Barker in real life in the original one, but like that's like within the realm of the movie they created. So I do recommend Happy Gilmore 2. I did laugh. I did enjoy it. I called my dad, who loves golf, after. I was like, you got to see it. They got like Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler in it. But if you want like an actual serious comedy, like the original, if you want to just watch this because you like the original Happy Gilmore, go for it. But just know it is a lot sillier than the original Happy Gilmore. We did catch some TV shows this year, guys. I'm going to go through the ones I watched. First, Chosen Last Supper was actually really well made. So we had watched The Chosen the earlier seasons, and it was just really slow. But as we picked it up after they had put out a few more, it's gotten really interesting. I think the guy that plays Jesus is really good. Jonathan Rumi, I believe is his name. He does a very good job, and it's just well shot. I think it's like interesting to watch. If you're interested in learning more about Jesus, give it a watch. Pretty good show. I got a lot of complaints about television, guys. The way they make television now is not the way they used to make television. So we watched Wednesday, season 2. It took 8 years for them to make 8 episodes with no plot. So the whole first season had kind of a murder mystery aspect to it. And I think the stupid Hyde thing, the big CGI creature, looks ridiculous, but it's kind of like their big monster of the show, whatever. So you kind of have to live with it to watch it. The second one didn't have anything to do with anything. The whole thing stemmed on the kid resurrected this zombie, and then the zombie kind of like walked around for 7 of the 8 episodes, and in the 8th one, he was like, oh, this guy's a problem. So I don't understand how they took so long to make it and couldn't come up with anything better. I'm struggling to even remember what the plot of it was. I remember that the first 4 episodes didn't have a lot to do with what happened in the last 4 episodes, because then the monster creature got out in the 4th one and then didn't really do anything the rest of the time. I think he found his mom, who was the sister of the zombie or something. But there was no murder mystery aspect to this one. And I was honestly really disappointed that there's all this build up and they're like, oh, we're making Wednesday season 2 after you guys randomly liked the first one. And this is the best they could come up with. And then it's going to take another 10 years to make the second season. So I don't know. I was a little let down by this one. Now, a show that I'm going to give it its flowers. I'm going to give it its props. Only Murders in the Building. Has it gotten sillier every season it's come out? Yes. But it comes out every year. I could count on every Halloween season I'm going to get a murder mystery from Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez where I am invested in the story and I like the characters and it'll keep me hooked till the end. Like I said, this is, I think, the 5th season. And they do get sillier every time. I remember the first 2 were actually like really good. And then I haven't thought any of the rest were bad, but they've definitely gotten a little sillier, a little goofier aspects go on. But I mean, you're on season 5. How much can you do? And I remember at the end of this one, someone dies at the end of every season to lead into the next one. I was watching with my wife. I said, do you think someone's actually going to die? Because there's no way they could keep doing this. And then someone died and they're doing a 6th season, which will come out next year. So in the time that we've gotten 2 seasons of Wednesday, we were going to have gotten like 6 of Only Murders in the Building. So yeah, I really enjoy this show. If you guys like murder mysteries, just start it from the beginning and watch it. Like I said, the first are a little more serious, probably are a little more believable. As it goes on, the murders get a little more outlandish and whatever. But yeah, I really enjoy Only Murders in the Building. It's almost like they make shows just so they can be like, go to Wendy's and get the Wednesday meal for $18.99 because it has the Wednesday logo on it. Like, I think that's why they make shows. It's ridiculous. Okay. I'm a big fan of The Office. I got the first 7 seasons sitting on the shelf behind me. The Michael Scott seasons are some of the best television ever. Years and years and years. We're going to remake The Office, reboot it, whatever. I said, don't do that. You can't remake The Office. It was made during the right time. It was the funniest show ever. You're not going to be able to do it. They landed on, we're going to make a spin-off of The Office called The Paper. Well, it's not that good. Like, you can't make The Office in today's climate. They try to like have like a half Office that's like kind of funny, trying not to be offensive. I like that they have Oscar in it. I think that's funny, but he's really not in it that much. I wish he was in it more, but that's just me wanting it to be the regular Office. So no, I mean, there were parts of The Paper I thought were funny. I thought Esmeralda was funny at times, but there were lots of times with her, I said, I don't know if this woman is actually funny or she's like just like larger than life extravagant. Like nobody would act like that. Nobody would act like that woman. The Office had people that were believable. That lady is just all over the place. And like sometimes it's funny, but a lot of times it's like unbelievable. And like, why is she doing all these crazy things? If you really love The Office and you're like itching for something similar, St. Denis Medical is better than The Paper, and it's hilarious. And it's gotten, to be fair, when it started, it wasn't that funny. I think it's into season 2 now. It's pretty funny now, and I really enjoy it. And that's also made by NBC. So I don't know why they're like searching for their next Office show, and they're like forcing The Paper on people when they have St. Denis on there, which is better. and more organic. So if you were, like I said, if you're itching for an office type show, I would watch St. Denis Medical instead of The Paper. Okay, back to movies, where I have yet another complaint. I watched the How to Train Your Dragon remake, and it was really good. You know why? Because the original How to Train Your Dragon is a really good movie. I did like how they translated it to live action. I have no complaints with the film itself, but this idea that studios don't have any ideas anymore, and they don't know what people want to watch, so they're like, well, let's find the stuff that they used to like to watch and just say, instead of it being a cartoon, it's live action now. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed watching How to Train Your Dragon, but if I'm going to pick one to watch, I'm going to watch the animated one that I liked before. I don't think it's like super creative that they just remake it. Now, does it take some talent and some skill? I'm sure. But so like I said, I enjoyed watching this, but I enjoyed watching the other one. So, that's up to you which one you want to watch. It's the exact same story. If you think it's cooler to see it in live action, I guess watch this one, but I'm going to stick with the original animated one. Jurassic World Rebirth, they do it all the time. I thought the last one was supposed to be the last one. I didn't even see the last one with Chris Pratt. You can't keep remaking the same movie with different people. Every single one, they're like, hey, we're going to go to this island. We're mercenaries, or we're paying lots of money because we want to see it. Hey, you're not allowed to go there. Well, we're going to do it anyway. Oh, we got eaten by dinosaurs. It happens every time. And now they've gotten really into this idea of like the mutant dinosaurs. So like this one has like a rancor at the end. I like the original one is one of the greatest movies ever made. I really liked the Chris Pratt first one because the park was open. It was a little different. Like there were actual civilians at the park. They were trying to have an amusement park. The dinosaurs got out of everybody. That's fine. All the rest of them are just people go to the island. They shouldn't be there. They get eaten. New cast of characters. I don't know how Mahershala Ali didn't die in this one. The Rancor got him and then it didn't. But if you're into Jurassic Park, I guess it's fine. I didn't hate watching it. But also, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, this was a genius idea. Can you believe they had the people go back to the island and get eaten by dinosaurs? Is it fun to see people get eaten by dinosaurs? Yeah, but the idea is getting a little dry. And they need to, if they're going to keep doing it, there has to be a reason for them to go back there. Every single time it's to get DNA from the dinosaurs. Every single time. So didn't hate it, but not the greatest thing in the world. We did see Freakier Friday, which is a cult classic from my childhood. I'm glad they made it. It seemed like they had fun making it, but again, the original one is better. This one's kind of the same idea. They just all switch bodies. This may be me being stupid, but I got a little confused with who switched bodies in this one, because this one, it wasn't just the mom and the daughter switch bodies. It was 4 people swap bodies. So I asked multiple times during the movie, who is that person swapped bodies with? It's just kind of a silly movie. If you're into Freaky Friday, sure. But again, the first movie is a lot better of a movie than this one. Guys, this one really hurts my heart. For the most disappointing movie of the year, I'm going to have to go with Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. And if you know me, I love the Mission Impossible movies. I think Tom Cruise is the last great movie star. I love that he does his own stunts. This one, though, it just didn't do it for me. And it was 3 hours long, way too long. If you want to look at the Mission Impossible movies as a mountain. So the first one starts at the base of the mountain. Honestly, the second one's a little divot in front of the mountain. And then it's oh, the third one's pretty good. Oh, the fourth one's really good. The fifth one's really good. I'm going to say the sixth one's probably the peak of the mountain. The sixth one's fantastic. And then it's oh, the seventh one, it probably drops a little bit. It's pretty good. And then probably this one is here. So it doesn't go all the way back down to the base of the mountain. But I think this is a good stopping point, because I'm afraid if they kept making them, you would keep going down and down and down that mountain. The artificial intelligence in the movie that was set up in the previous movie is non-existent in this movie. So in the last one, it was like a character. And I know Tom Cruise talks to it for 2 minutes in this one. But it would communicate with him and tell him what it wants to do. And it had the bad guy as its vessel doing what it wants to do. But this one, other than when it talks to Tom Cruise, everybody just says what it wants to do. So you don't really see what it's doing or what it wants to do. It just felt like it was removed from the movie. I do really so what I love about these movies, which is in this one, is when they have Tom Cruise arrested and he's talking to the government, and it's the president and her whole cabinet and everything, and he's basically begging them to trust him. It's you gotta let me do this thing, blah blah blah, and they trust him and let him do it. That is what works for me in Mission Impossible. This one, then he goes down to the submarine, which might be on me. I thought there was two keys. That was throwing me off a lot. And the last one, I think there was two parts of a key that they put together. But in this one, I was like, when did he get the second key? He never went and got the second key. So that may have been on me. But he goes down there and they have that whole sequence. He comes back up and basically they're trying to trap the AI in a hard drive because the AI wants to nuke the world or something. But when they get there, the bad guy knows that and he runs away with the thing they need to trap it. What I don't know. There's a lot of moving pieces in this that are like two like small parts to like fully make sense, I feel like. But if the bad guy knows the AI is going to nuke the world, he can't just run away in an airplane because then he's going to get nuked. That doesn't make sense. So then they eventually capture the AI. I thought they were going to destroy it. Tom Cruise's whole thing was nobody can have it, but then he just held on to it. I thought he was going to like stomp on it or something, but I don't know. Like it was very disappointing to me because for this being the last one, I'm assuming, I was hoping they'd go on a little higher of note. But like I said, I think this is a good stopping point because it's still good. I feel like I know I just hated on it for like 3 minutes, but it's still a good movie. And I would recommend you watch it because I would recommend you watch the rest. I think the rest are so good that like you can't just not watch the last one. And it wasn't like an abomination to filmmaking or anything. So, I mean, I would still recommend it, especially if you've been on the journey. But as a Mission Impossible film goes, like it's nowhere near Fallout. Fallout was an incredible movie. That's one of my favorite movies ever. So really disappointed in Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was a letdown. They do let Tom Cruise run in it, which he does in every single one of his movies, so you can't end the franchise without Tom Cruise just sprinting down the sidewalk. Weapons. I saw it. It had like did it have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, something crazy like that? I enjoyed watching it, but it wasn't like the greatest thing in the world. I think that the real criminals of the movie are these detectives in the police force who can't tell that this Gladys woman who just showed up in town is holding custody of this child, refusing to let them the police see his parents. They think that she has nothing going on with this, and she looks crazy. They can't figure that out, that this woman has something to do with what's going on. It's an interesting concept. You know, it's different than like a lot of other horror movies you see. I enjoyed watching it. Like if you're into horror, go ahead. I think you might enjoy it. I hate, this is another thing with filmmaking they're doing. Now they're talking about having a Gladys prequel coming out. Why? The whole point of the movie was that she did the thing with the hair and stole the kids, which I didn't think that made sense because she said the kids were going to make her younger, but all they were doing was standing in her basement. So I don't know what the deal with that was. But I hate when they, like, there's a successful movie. What about a Gladys prequel? We can see what she was doing beforehand. That's dumb. So, I mean, it was unique. If you're interested, go for it. If we want to stick on horror here, probably my favorite movie I saw this year was Sinners. Sinners was really, really good. It was beautifully shot. Ryan Coogler does a great job being a director, but cinematography. Michael B. Jordan was great in the movie. I don't think there was a way to know it, but I wish I had no clue that there was vampires in this movie before it came out. If you watched this and we're just like, what? This is a vampire movie? I think you would have a great time. But I thought the story was really good. The guy that played the lead vampire, I thought was really good. I don't know his name. But yeah, I really enjoyed Sinners. Like I said, probably the best movie I saw this year. I don't think it has a shot of winning the Oscar. I would hope it would. But yeah, I would watch this one if you have time. Make an excuse to watch Sinners. All right, just a few more left. F1. These last few I talk about are probably the 3 best movies I saw this year also. F1, awesomely made movie. The director also directed Top Gun Maverick a few years ago, which is one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years. I think that he has found his lane, his niche of kind of over-the-hill, middle-aged man, still kicks butt at what he does, and can teach like young people a thing or two. Brad Pitt is really good in this movie. I don't know anything about F1 driving, but it taught me about it and it made me interested in it. I think the concept of like you have to change the tires every so many laps because they lose their tread and that makes your car go faster or slower, and that could be the difference between winning or losing a race. I think that's very interesting. But yeah, this is just a really good movie. There's not really like a ton to say about it other than like if you watch it, you're going to enjoy it. I think it was it like 2.5 hours? Some of these movies are a little too long, but yeah, this is a really good movie. I think you would enjoy it. I heard they're making Top Gun 3. I don't know if that I don't know. Like, lightning strikes in a bottle, where they're like, oh, we're making a Top Gun after however so many years, and it's awesome. I don't know if you need to make a third one. But if this guy has his lane and this is what he does, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be great. He directed Oblivion with Tom Cruise that came out in like 2013, I want to say. And I really enjoyed that when it came out. It didn't really get great reviews, but I guess that's where they made their kind of relationship, which led to Top Gun Maverick and this. So I guess we can credit Oblivion for a lot of these great films we're getting now. And most recently, I saw Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. And to start with this, I really don't like the Knives Out mystery tag on that. Let's like Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. The title Knives Out is from the original movie Knives Out, not Knives Out, a Knives Out mystery, because the family was all backstabbing each other. The guy had the chair with all the knives around it. He wrote all those murder mystery books. I understand that you're trying to get name recognition so that people go, oh, this is that murder mystery I liked. This is another one of those. So like Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. I wish they'd get rid of that. I think that's really annoying. I understand you're trying to get name recognition so people know what it is. But the titles have stuff to do with what's in the movie. So like, you wouldn't call the next one whatever a Wake Up Dead Man mystery, because Wake Up Dead Man applies to this movie. But as for the film itself, I really enjoyed it. I like these murder mysteries. I will say I only saw the second one once, and thinking back on it, I can't really remember all that much that happened in it. I think I like this one more than the second one. Nothing is going to top the first one, I don't think, just because they keep going and going and going. But the first one was a great original idea when it came out, and it was a really good movie. I think this one's a really good movie too. It's interesting because I could tell, like, watching this, the opinions that Ryan Johnson, who is my good friend, by the way, here's a picture of us. I'm sure he remembers me, but you could tell his opinions on religion in the movie. I think he puts a little bit too much of that in there because I think Josh Brolin is what he thinks of religion. Josh Brolin is the Monsignor priest at this church. You got all these shady suspects in the congregation. He ends up dying, and then Benoit Blanc and his southern twang shows up to solve it. I thought that this one did a better job of laying the pieces than Glass Onion from what I remember. Because this one I think you can look back on and be like, oh, so that happened because of this. That clue was there. I just think they have to be solvable, murder mysteries. I was very locked in the whole way trying to figure out what happened. I thought the guy that played the priest, the boxer priest, he was great in this movie. I think his name is Josh O'Connor. I don't know if I've seen him in anything, but he was really good in this. Daniel Craig is obviously good as Benoit Blanc. I don't know why. I think his hair is longer. I don't remember him having long hair in the first one. They're trying to make him look more hipstery. So, like I said, I really enjoyed it. If you're into murder mysteries, I think you'll love it. Also, kind of too long. It's 2.5 hours. But the first one is just, like, that one's one of my favorite movies the last 10 years, too, the original Knives Out. But yeah, so, I mean, I think they're going to keep making them because they're easy to make. And I hope they do keep making them because it's just one-off cases. They're not all connected, which is the genius of them, because if you start getting into Marvel, Star Wars, where everything's connected and blah blah blah. If you just have an all-star cast every time with all these really famous people and a murder that Daniel Craig needs to solve, it's going to be good and I'm going to enjoy it. So I would recommend you check out Wake Up Dead Man. Not if you haven't seen the first one. Watch the first one. I need to rewatch the second one, but I would say probably just rewatch the second one, then rewatch this one or watch this one. So if you made it through all that, thanks for sticking around and listening to my thoughts on the shows and movies and properties that came out this year. Some really good, some not very good. But I'm hoping there's a lot to look forward to next year. I wrote down a little list here. We got Avengers Doomsday, I'm really excited for. Spider-Man 4, Christopher Nolan's next project, The Odyssey, Dune 3, Mando and Grogu, Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling. And did you guys know there's an Avatar, The Last Airbender movie coming out with like Aang and like the young crew? That would be awesome. That's one of my favorite shows from when I was a kid. I rewatched it recently too, and it's still held up. But getting more stuff with Aang, they keep making more stuff, but none of it has Aang and all them in it. It's like the next Avatar and the next Avatar, which aren't as cool as Aang. So really excited for all those movies. I'm hoping the Avengers Doomsday is great. I hope that the Russo brothers bring it back to what it was. Christopher Nolan is probably the best filmmaker that's currently working. Tarantino probably has something to say about that, but the fact that he has another movie coming out is probably going to be kind of a must-see thing. That's got a lot of really good actors in it too, so hopefully that turns out well. But guys, I appreciate you watching this video. I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys for a great 2025 and really just listening to this bozo talk about a bunch of movies that you probably could care less about. Hope you guys have a great Christmas season, New Year, and hope 2026 treats you well. I'll be here with more reviews. So like I said, like and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you for watching this humble video.